Wait. What are we doing?
Well, on this beautiful November day, we are gonna learn how to cape out a shoulder. Can't talk. We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn how to cape out a deer for a shoulder mount. Now that my words are working. That's wild right there.
And this isn't the biggest buck she's ever killed.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. These deer that are mounted here are actually at deer that I shot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This 7 point and the 6 point right here are the 2 bucks that I shot last year.
Oh, nice. That's a sweet 6.
Yeah, nice and tall.
Yeah. This is actually a picture book right here.
Deer for a shoulder.
Well, a lot of people think too that when they get the deer back from the processor, whatever stuff, it's got the whole hide, they think it's caped already. Well,
Right.
it's not.
Yep.
They may call it caped, but it's not.
Yep. So,
Caping is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Cape is from right behind the shoulder to the end of the nose right here.
all the bone
Yep.
and everything.
All that part right there
Yeah.
is a deer cape.
Right now it's just skin
Yep.
up to the neck and cut off.
Yep.
That's just skin. So we're gonna cape them out today, and we're gonna show you guys that. Well, Brian's gonna cape them out today, and we're gonna show you guys that process.
A lot of guys, especially these guys out of state, neglect to do is take measurements. There's only 2 measurements that you need to take for a shoulder mount deer. That's what they call a face measurement from the end of the nose to the front of the eye right there. Okay, this is roughly 7.5. And a neck measurement, roughly about 2 inches behind the ears. There's not a whole lot of neck left on this one right here, so I feel we should kind of guesstimate a little bit. 20-inch. His neck is what this deer's got. He wasn't a real big deer to begin with.
Is that for the form?
Yep, that's
Okay.
form size. Years ago, I used to, a lot of guys still do. They take and cut it all the way clear the middle of the shoulders. We're gonna just let the phone ring. If it's real important, my wife will let me know. The secretary in the house. If you look on these deer, you can see where the center of the neck is and that kind of stuff, because they usually get a darker area right here in the center of the neck that goes all the way back down their neck and actually the whole length of the body. Stuff, you can see where the center of the deer is. But I'm gonna get this knife in here. I'm gonna open him up. I'm gonna get to right about there, just a little above the center of his ears where they cross right here.
Okay.
All right, you can see what I've done right there. Now I'm gonna take this knife. I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna try to hit for about the center of his antler right back here. Not way up here, not way down here, but right back here. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side right here. Get right on that point right there where I'm doing what they call a Y incision.
Okay.
And you want to use a pretty sharp knife for this.
Yeah, it looks like it.
You don't want to use anything but a real sharp knife. Gonna move this hair over all the way so you're not cutting the hair, because the hairs are gonna overlap everything and hide that seam.
Okay.
Then you want to get in here and you want to start cutting this membrane here a little bit.
Now that skin's pretty tough, so you can be pretty aggressive with it, or
Well, I mean, don't cut the skin any more than what it already is.
Right.
But what you want to do is get up in here where I cut this up back of the antler right here. And you want to take and get in there and you want to pull and cut that just a little bit, get that started.
right up under that base.
Right up underneath that antler burr is what you want to do. You can see right here what I did. Open that up, and I'm gonna do the same thing on this side right here. You can peel a little bit back by your hand. Here's my Y right here that I made. That's my Y incision right there.
Nice.
Anyone they can get in here next to the skull right there, and this muscle right back here where this ear is right here. You want to stay up fairly close. You want to start get down in here, separate this muscle here.
Staying as close to the skull as you
Yeah, well, fairly close. Okay, then you want to get this other side started right here. Like that right there. You just kind of give it a little yank and you can see. And then get in, you got this fatty stuff right here, but you can get in here and so here's the ear canal right here, and here's the muscle
Okay.
that I just cut right here. You know, it just matters, you know, start opening up. You can take a screwdriver and finish up getting around this antler burr right here. But I got a real stiff blade knife that I like to use. And I turn it and I cut up into the antler burr, up underneath it. And I just kind of work that around.
kind of pried it off there.
Hey, you kind of cut and pry at the same time.
Okay.
Takes a little bit of experience to do that. See this vessel right here? That's one of the blood vessels that feeds this antler when they're in the growing stage.
Oh, nice. It's like that. So you're
know.
not wanting to cut.
No, you don't
always cut.
want to get in here, you know,
Yeah.
get all this jagged stuff right there, stuff. You know, that's a
Cut from
big
below
no-no.
and pry it.
You want to get up underneath it and behind the skin and cut and loosen that and kind of pull at the same time. You can also take a screwdriver and get in there and kind of work that around
Okay.
and stuff, you know. Yeah, I mean, this, you know, this isn't rocket science, but I always say it's not regular science neither. You know, you kind of get the hang of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I know doing my first couple, I was always nervous about getting too far out on that ear, so I'd stay as close as I could to the skull. You know, better to be safe than sorry. And it takes me a lot longer than it takes Brian, but he's probably done what, 4,000 or 5,000 of these?
Thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah. Like I say, you can get in here with a screwdriver and pry that around, do the same thing I just did with a knife, but I find it a lot quicker and easier to do that with a really stiff blade knife. Now what a lot of guys will do is get in here and start cutting up in the mouth right here and stuff, you know, loosening up all that skin there and that kind of stuff, you know, wrestling this thing around, flip-flop up and back and forth, this way, that way. We're going to do it the easy way.
Ooh, I like the easy way.
We're going to hang him up, get a big hook right back here, back to that neck right there. That way I got both hands free. Let's spin this rascal right around. And it's just a matter of start skinning him here. You know, you grab a hold of that hide good and you pull down on it, and you know, you just kind of pull and cut at the same time. And you just keep flip flopping from one side to the other, keep turning it. That's the whole purpose of the hook right there. You got both hands free.
I can vouch for that hook making it a lot easier because I found one when I was down in Indiana and I used it way easier than trying to do it on the table. That's one thing with a lot of these out-of-state hunts. You can't bring the bones back from the deer. It has to be caped out,
Yep.
all the excess meat off, no brain matter,
Exactly.
nothing. So that's one of the benefits of knowing how to cape out your own deer is you can
Yeah,
bring
but-
the trophy back and be legal about it.
Because any of this stuff that comes from out west by law is supposed to be cleaned up this good. When we get down here to the eyes, back to this eye socket right here, you can see it right here. But you want to pull down on that, and you want to stay up close to that eye socket. Start cutting, you know, slow around there. What I'm going to do is, you'll see that open up right there. Okay, here's his eye right here. And at that point right there, when you get your finger in there, pull that skin down, stay close to that bone, and you got to get in behind there where that duck is right there. You stay right tight up against that bone. Get in there, cut real slow. You want to open that up. Stay way back in deep. You know, don't start cutting up here. That's what you don't want to do. Stay way back in deep right there till You open that up right there, see? Stay way back in, pull on that and just, you know, stay way back in behind that skin right there.
Just kind of follow that bone down then?
All you're doing is just following that bone down.
Okay.
When you see this dark meat right here, stuff, you know, you get into the back of the mouth right here. Okay. What you need to do is, I can probably show you a little better on this side. You want to cut that across there. You want to open that up on both sides.
All the way to the teeth right there?
Yeah, you just want to cut, and you're cutting all the way to the gum line.
Okay.
If there's any blood or anything in there, you get in there with a paper towel. You know, wipe that junk out so you can see. You know, I mean, this isn't a job for the weak-hearted. You know, I mean, if you're squeamish, this isn't the kind of stuff you want to be doing. This is. You got all the blood and guts before you get to that point right there. A lot of people think that you just pop the antlers off it, throw them on, pour them right there, and you got a deer mount. Well,
yeah.
A little bit more to it than that.
I think some people think that the skeleton's on them still and everything. Honestly,
It's just a matter of working that down and watching what you're doing and skinning. You know, right on that lip line right there where it meets right here, where it comes around on the inside of the mouth. And
so you want all that gum line to come with it?
Well, you want all this gum line right here to come with it, because you got to have all that, because you're gonna have part of this lip line right here, from about here down to about here, all the way around, and that's what's gonna be tucked up into the form when it's actually mounted.
Okay.
And these lips are gonna be split. And then you know, everything, all the flesh taken out of it. And when you get down to his nose, this is where the skull quits right here. Then the rest of this forward is just cartilage. And you get down there a little ways, and you cut through that cartilage, and just stay next to that bone and cut, because a lot of this skin on this nose right here, see, that's going to be split and turned also. And that's what's going to be tucked into the form also.
There it is.
Just like that. Then it's just a matter of rolling up, throwing in the freezer, or if you send them out to get them the high tan, that kind of stuff, you know, then this whole thing's got to be semi-fleshed, the ears turned, the eyes turned, nose, lips. Then, you know, it'll be salted down and sent to a processor.
And you want to get them right in the freezer, especially if it's warm, right?
When
you leave them out.
Well, when it's warm, you don't want to be screwing around. You want to get stuff taken care of, because you can't fix spoiled.
Right.
And to cut the antlers off, I'm not going to cut the antlers off this right here, because this is going to be a European mount.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but the antlers are going to be cut off. Don't cut way up here. Get back here about 1.5 inches to 2 inches behind that skull, or the antlers, I should say, on the skull. Cut down through here. Then you want to take and cut them across just above the top of the eyes right here.
Just meet up the cuts together.
Just like what you see right here. Cut down through here, you know, to about right through there, like that right there. This stuff, you know. Then you just want to take and cut this across like this, and it helps to have a good bone saw to do this with.
Right.
Not a sawzall, not a chainsaw, you know, which I have seen people do. Not a hacksaw, stuff, you know, but a good sharp bone saw made for cutting bone. You know, just like what you see right here. And this.
What is the difference between bone saw and hacksaw? Just a little bit bigger teeth?
Well, the teeth are bigger and they're 10 times sharper.
10 times sharper?
Yeah. This is a tempered blade.
Oh, okay.
This blade is made for cutting bone.
I need to get some of those blades.
Are they listed as bone saws or?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's basically the gist or the process of which you cape a deer. It's not for everybody, and if you are too nervous about trying to do it yourself, I would just recommend highly giving it to a taxidermist. We got to hang around with Brian for a little while afterwards, and he got to tell us some of the stories that of all the mounts in his trophy room basically, and a lot of Michigan bucks, some outside the state bucks, some turkeys and all this stuff. The man is a wealth of knowledge, and we really appreciate him letting us tag along and learn the process with him. And it's definitely a learning curve. I've done a few, Derek's done a few, but when you are hunting out of state and you want to be legal and you don't want your stuff seized or something like that, if you get pulled over for some reason, I would highly advise practicing and doing this yourself. So hopefully this helps some of you. We really appreciate you watching. Hopefully it does help some of you, and good luck out there. Hopefully you get to use this technique on the next critter you kill. And until next time, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Thanks. Have a good night. Gotta go to bed. Sleepy time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.